Was it an announcements? No. It was okay, sorry. Two. Something is not working. Okay. And it's in week 1, right? I thought I had it in a Word document, but I don't.
All right, I got
There
my
we go.
notes up now. Okay. It looks like
Okay,
it's
so
recording.
talk about how your view of the design profession has changed since completing the projects. How does the learning material help you better understand how to develop a brand identity? So you can go first if you want. Stop it.
Okay, wait. I was just going to get up the questions too. Sorry about that.
Oh no, that's fine.
All right, yeah.
I have a cat.
Understanding concepts. All right. Mine was basically I kind of thought about like balancing the brand, what it means to actually like be the brand and how to like show it. And I kind of went like a wood type feeling with my logo, and I've been working on it and trying to like balance a lot of things with the logo as I've been going on with certain aspects of it.
Yes, I did look at your work. I was looking at everybody's work because this is my favorite part of the class is when we get to, or the degree, is when we get to actually draw with our hands. I know that sounds weird, but like not use the applications on the computer yet. Sorry, my cat is being stupid. Um, so this was really fun for me to actually draw what my brain was thinking and actually and then scan it in and stuff. I don't know how I'm gonna do this vector challenge. I came up with some really good logos. You came up with some good ones too, but I feel like maybe mine were too complex. Like I don't know how I'm gonna put them into the Illustrator, which is my problem.
Yeah, I think my problem was like I tried to like simplify it too much with some of them, but I'm slowly starting to like go over them right now and go like, all right, this is working, this isn't working, balancing what works, what doesn't, and with the since I'm currently working on the vector challenge, I've been going through each one, doing like the three, and then making sure that each one is balanced between like let's see, balance between like not too simple and being just enough where the audience actually like gets it. And then I'm also trying to balance like the feedback that I'm getting from our professor, which I have to go over those notes before I finish so that I make sure that I have everything in perspective, and I make sure that I'm getting all the details that I need.
Yes, I watched their critique of the work yesterday, and it was interesting because they picked a completely different one that I didn't even pick. Like they really focused in on that one, and I didn't even pick it. So I was like, should I go back and pick it? But then how am I going to put it in the Adobe Illustrator? Because Illustrator is hard for me. It's not like a plug and put stuff in. It's very confusing. So I have a logo of the six that we made. Like I have a logo in mind, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it work. So I guess we're kind of on one and two. This one says discuss the key concepts. that had an impact. So basically, I'm trying to think. My mind went blank. My mind went blank. Um,
I know we did like
anyway, it's
brand identity, like simplification and contrasting. Those are the other things that I
yes,
kind of like wrote down as like maybes to talk about for key concepts.
yes. I liked
So,
how I guess that's the key concept I couldn't think of, but like how our teacher, our instructor, it was very hands-on. You know how our last classes were like basically write a mini paper at the end in
yeah.
every mastery journal.
Yeah, I remember that.
I like how yeah, I like how the instructor here is like, here's some hands-on projects, and then which they've been harder. They have been harder. I'll give them that.
Definitely, yeah.
So I guess this goes into number two. I can't see the side of my screen to see. I don't want us to run out of time and we or go over. The meeting only the Zoom only let me start it for 40 minutes. So hopefully he won't be too um messed up about the other five, you know.
I think that should be good since we are technically missing a person, so I think it might like balance out.
That's what I was worried about. I was like, we should be okay.
Yeah. Cuz I let them know like what's going on, like we've tried reaching out and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Cuz
I
I
hope she's okay. That was interesting because I had her in a group before in another class, and she was the one who hosted the meeting and set up all the messages. So it was weird that she didn't reply. So I hope she's okay. You know, life.
Me too. That's why I'm like maybe the professor knew something that I didn't, so I'm like uh maybe you can get in touch with her easier. I didn't know if maybe they had like some kind of contact list or something. I'm not sure.
I also didn't realize we only had 3 weeks this time. Usually we have four.
No, sorry. The professor, sorry. I got a message earlier that said that there is a week 4. They're working on it.
Oh, okay, it's just not put up yet.
It's just not ready yet, but it is almost the end of the third week, so I'll probably ask them again.
Okay. Yeah, I was really wondering. So that like was because I wanted to do some more design challenges before doing the meeting because I know number two was discuss the challenges encountered, and so I wanted some more like hands-on stuff. But then I looked at it when we were planning the meeting, and I was like, oh, we only have this 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Um.
there
So
is a
yeah,
fourth week. It's just not up there yet. I'm wondering if it'll be like this weekend.
hopefully.
Yeah. I think the problems I've been running into are kind of not really with the design aspect. Recently I've been like on Illustrator and it's just like the mouse. It's just like getting used to the pad and how it functions because with certain with each application it's it has different effects on the mouse and that sort of stuff. So it's like I have to take one like line and move it, and sometimes it'll go the opposite, or it would go a little bit off from where I want it. That's what I've been having
Yeah. He
problems with recently.
Did you see the in the case study? Not case study. It was in the work this week. He gave us those links to those pages where we can work on
Um.
our line work.
Oh yeah, I've been looking at
Those are
those. I've
really
been
fun. And
yeah.
I think that's is that see, I don't play around in illustrators that much. Stop it. Um because we did Adobe Illustrator in my first classes, and it was really hard to get the hang of. And then kind of when I did, we switched over to InDesign or something else, where now it's kind of like I have to go back to this, like I can't remember how to use it. So then I go do the line work that he sent the links for, and it was like, use the Alt button to do this. And then I was like, well, what button does what now? And I get so frustrated because, like, why can't I just click and put? Why is it so difficult?
Yeah, sometimes when you're going back and forth between them, you can like mess up and go use one thing that would be good for one app, and it doesn't do that in the other one, which I find very kind of weird. I wish they would like kind of streamline it a bit better, but maybe they're working on that a little bit with Adobe.
Right. And I've went to the tutorials, and none of them are as helpful as I need them to be.
Hmm.
So that goes with this vector challenge we have coming up. I don't know. There's some that I want to pick that I like the way they look, and then there's some that I like the way they look, and they look like they may be easy to put into InDesign, but I don't know how Illustrator works. So I'm nervous about this one.
Yeah, me too, a little bit. I just need to make sure like my line work is good, but hopefully it'll work out in the end because I'm fine tuning them as of now.
I got onto Adobe Illustrator, and I guess it updates every now and then, and it did not update, and it would not update because my computer said there was another version running, and I had to eventually uninstall the whole thing, or it wasn't installed. So then I had to go and do a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, oh my God, what if I can't get it to fix before I have to get in there? So I just got it fixed last night, and then got everything updated. So I'm going to work on that today.
Hmm.
But I think it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
I really want, so this one right here, how is your view of the design, not that one, how did you overcome these challenges? And it merges into how has your view of the design profession changed from experiencing these challenges? Like I said before, I have a really hard time with like going into the app and using the mouse with it like looking at me like my screen. So I was thinking, well, I like to draw, so for these designs and this type of degree that we're going into, if you're designing logos and whatnot, you should probably get a tablet where you can use the pencil and draw on a tablet. Because I think that like as I was thinking the other day, and I'm like, how am I going to do my design? I was like, it'd be so much easier if I could just draw it on the screen, and then the screen kind of figure out how to merge it. I don't know if that would work, but it seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, that could be something.
But it's definitely something that I'm thinking about investing in to see, since like I said, I can draw on paper no problem, but I don't know how I'm going to get these designs into a vector type or an SVG image. So and then that also goes into this challenge we have right here. Stop it.
Well, I've just been like practicing and practicing like with what I have right now. Currently, I think right now I do actually have a pad, but it is in the shop, so I have to deal with what I have, and I've just got to practice and
Right.
practice.
That's true. And I guess, I mean, it's good to know how the lines and stuff work on the computer with the mouse, but it is tricky. I feel
Yeah.
like it'd be easier if we just had a pen or something. But, you know. I've been timing this, and I put it on 15 minutes for the first question, and we've kind of discussed the first and second question. These kids, I can turn off my computer. Stop it. And so we have 2 minutes left on that 15 minutes. I was just trying to kill some time with our meeting.
Okay. Could move on to the next
The
one,
cat going crazy.
which is, let me get to that. Yeah, I've been moving around from tab to tab with this. also interested in looking. Yeah, okay. Alright, I should be now set up for the next question.
The design concept this month's case.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can move on to like the brand comparison part. I chose, since it was Pepsi, I thought of Dr. Pepper would be a perfect one to like compare it to. Because Pepsi
Okay.
is more like youthful, energetic, modern, while Dr. Pepper I've seen is like more hard driven, bold, and nostalgic. Let's see. What brand did you like pick for number 3?
Now the brand that I went, it's not really a brand, it's an artist, but he had his own logo. I chose Michael Jackson in our class discussion thing. But it's I always go back to him because he not only is he such a good artist and a performer and everything, he just has the he came up with a really good logo. He made it the first movies, long feature films with his music videos. Like it's just a song, but he made whole feature films. So like when I think of branding and messaging, I always go back to Michael Jackson because he was the first music star that I seen. Like I wasn't really, I got hooked on like NSYNC, and that was like the boy band that I liked. And I'm really into music, but that was the only artist that like really shaped how I viewed the music industry. Like that's how it should be done, with this over the top production of who you are, what you do. Prince followed suit. He did really good, but he was the only other artist to really. Prince kind of went too much with changing his name to the symbol, but he had a symbol. He had, to have that logo with your name and everything you do. It just makes you bigger than just an artist. So like that's who I always go to because that's who when I first I was like it was 1993, so I was like 7, 8, and that's the impact it had on me. Like I was obsessed with this man and this music, and it wasn't just his music; it was just his presence. So like, and then I said it before. My other thing, I was Barbie. I had Barbie everything as a kid. So not only was I addicted to Michael Jackson, I had Barbie everything because my grandma got it for me, but I loved everything they had. They had everything. Get down. Get on. Get. So I go back and forth and I go those are my two main brands is Barbie and Michael Jackson. Well, he's not really a brand, but he is. And then Lego. Lego is another brand that I go and fall back on because they've been around forever and they're so mainstream. They're always up to date with what's going on in the world. Like they haven't, like I don't know how old you are, but like 80s kids, Nickelodeon and stuff like that, that sticks in our mind and everything in that era. But the things that have made it past that era is the Barbies and the Legos. Like they're still coming out with new toys and stuff. So I think I always go back to them because I think that that's really interesting how they've kept up.
Yeah, I think I heard something about Lego that they're gonna be doing more eco-friendly bricks, and I did not know that Michael Jackson had a logo. I just looked that up. That is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he changed his signature a couple times. Like no, his logo included his signature, but
Yeah.
he had built off of. I think at first was him on his toes, like the Billie Jean him on his toes, but then it evolved into just his initials and where it is now, with the crown on it. But just the fact that he had all these different versions of logo. Stop it. Stop. Get down. All these different versions of logos, but he was technically just a singer, like that really resonated with me as a designer. I think I've always been kind of a designer, but just little things like that I noticed. Because, like I said, I was into NSYNC, I was into stuff like that, but they never had what he had. They didn't have a logo. They just had their name a certain way. It wasn't like they had all of this stuff. Like, they didn't make, like when they made music videos, it wasn't whole full feature films, like, I don't know if you've seen Moonwalker, but Smooth Criminal is the song in that movie.
Yeah.
Please get down.
I've been looking into I've been looking at each one and how they've like evolved. They've really gone through a lot. All these brands.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably do like more research into them because it's pretty interesting to see like brand evolution. Seeing their logo go from,
which is like what Pepsi did.
Yeah, like what Pepsi did, going from like point A to point B. Just evolving.
And speaking of Pepsi, Michael Jackson did a commercial for Pepsi where he got burned and he got hurt. That is famous. Everybody talks about that. But he did two or three Pepsi commercials for him since then, maybe two. He did another one where he didn't really appear in it, I think, or he did for like 5 seconds. I know it was really a big deal for him because his family likes Pepsi, but he doesn't. So he didn't really want to be in it. He didn't want it to be about him. He wanted it to be about the Pepsi. I'd have to look more into it again. I've read about it, but it kind of fell off into another memory somewhere.
Oh. I should really know a lot more about Michael Jackson since we share a birthday. But some of the stuff is a little bit new to me. I think I remember seeing the commercial, but I think it was a long time ago. I think it was like in a class. We were watching it for branding purposes. We watched a couple commercials back to back.
We my stepdaughter shares a birthday with him, so I always have to tell him happy birthday, and then tell her, because who's around first. So happy birthday, happy same birthday. That's cool.
Yeah.
I share a birthday with DMX.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think who else? Stone Cold Steve Austin and me share a birthday. Nobody really cool. Let's see here. I don't know the full. I did set this for 40 minutes, but it does not give me like a remaining time. So I do hope we cover everything, and then we get the if we don't get knocked for time.
I think we should be good.
It. But we are doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're keeping up good pace. I think. What time do we start?
My cat wants to be a meeting. Thomas, please stop. Figure out what you're doing.
Yeah, I think we can possibly go to the next one, which was the brainstorming for the possible. Oh, this time it's logo.
Right, and this one was really fun because our name is the Gambits, but to me, I was like the Gambits, like it could be a play of it, like gaming and like bits. I don't know, like a gaming, like I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of went with.
Yeah. What is a Gambit?
The only one that I remember when I first looked at it, I thought of the X-Man from like X-Men. and I thought of that, but then I'm like, you know what? I should actually look into like what that is, and I looked into like what it could mean. It could be like for chess. I hope I'm saying that right.
Hmm.
I can never like get that pronunciation right. Like the knight piece or the king. It's like a strategy. So I thought like maybe it could be like a knight and a king. Like maybe like down the middle you would see like one side would be like the knight, one side would be like the king for like a logo.
Let me see. I'm looking at game theory.
Or maybe it can be like let's see, strategy. How would you like symbolize strategy? Maybe like with a mind, like thinking about
It has
certain
multiple
strategies.
meanings. So a chess move, which means to trip. The Italian word gambito, ruse, scheme, stratagem, employ. Oh, so it's like a strategy or like a.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen that the X-Men. Okay.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. And I'm like, nah, I've got to do research. I got to sit down and look into this before I actually start. Because I'm like, I'm not going
It's
to
funny.
take that. Is it?
I don't remember him. It's weird because I don't remember him. I also watched that, and my knowledge of Marvel DC characters stops at, because I know they split them up or whatever, but it stops at Storm, like when Storm was in there
Yeah.
and they were like all together, wasn't it? So like that's where it stops for me. I don't know when they started splitting them up and doing all that extra stuff. That's not the same thing. It's not. I kind of stopped watching after that.
Yeah.
But that's where my brain stops at. When they took Storm and all that out, I was like, oh, this.
Yeah. I thought, though, for like the actual logo color, it could be like maybe like black, white with a little bit of gold. Or maybe like mix in a little bit of each. Or maybe just have like gold and white or black and gold for like the logo.
That does sound good. So that
Yeah.
that that is interesting that this is. It's funny because I've been uh binging Grimm, the series Grimm, with all of the. I don't know if you've seen it,
I've seen a little bit of
but
it, yeah.
it's kind of like it's like off of the Brothers Grimm, but it's about all these fairy tales and stuff that have like alternate meanings and all kinds of stuff. So it's funny because this chess opening where a player sacrifices a piece or pawn to gain a positional advantage, which I used to know how to play. My grandpa taught me how to play chess. Um, it's interesting because in every start of this theme or the episode, somebody dies so that the cops can come or the Graham who is cop can come and see who the Vesant is that's doing this. Oh, our free meeting will end in 10 minutes. Well, we have 10 minutes.
Wait a minute. I just noticed that there it says time left 9 minutes and 45 seconds.
I
Huh,
just seen that too. They just put that up there.
that's
I
interesting.
didn't see it earlier.
Maybe it just popped up. Okay,
Oh, that's
that's a
okay.
good.
I
That
think
is.
we're moving. We're getting
Yeah,
everything covered.
I kind of have my
So
notes
it
over
says what
that.
ideas, what elements would need to be included. So the elements, I think you're right. We could do like a the 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 knight. I don't know what the name is either. It's the horse one, and with the black and the gold and the white, maybe some gray, maybe gray, not white,
Yeah,
since
that
it's
could be
more
better.
dark. We should probably, since they since it's should we put like if we were to design a logo, should it have? I don't know if it should have like an over like since it's a scheme almost. Should it have like a shadow or like a sense of doom, like blood? Like would that,
I'd say more like a
or is that too
shadow,
much?
because
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like shadows would
Hmm.
be like more. They're more thought provoking, at least in my mind.
It's funny because that's what this means. I didn't think about what it meant. I also went to just gaming. It goes back to what I'm watching because in the Grimm, one of the Grimms carries one of those chess pieces is the horse or the knight, and like that's what he finds at a murder scene is that. So that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Interesting to know that we have that it's connected to this too.
Yeah. So, right. White to gray.
Okay.
My notes. Okay. Looks like we went over everything. Let me
I think
see.
we did good
Oh,
for
I
having
had
two
one more
people.
thing. Sorry.
Oh
I
no, you're fine.
I wanted like for like the typeface. I haven't thought of like a actual. I've just been thinking like hypothetically that the typeface could be like bold yet elegant. So just like looking, I haven't actually like looked at the typefaces yet, but I thought that that would be like a good place to start with like a bold yet elegant typeface for the logo if we
Oh
were to
yeah.
put
Like
that.
yeah, I'm really drawn to the like the brush script font, but I don't like it to be too much where you can't see it. So I really like them. But also I can also, draw really good in cursive. So I like the font that's on the computer to match what I can draw where it's legible. So I like stuff like that too. It also has like a little bit of a I don't it's hard to explain, but I know I can see what you're talking about in my head. That would make it look good. Or the font could have a shadow on it.
Yeah, that's true. The font could have a shadow.
Like
Yeah.
what is that show I saw? I don't want to run out of time. It's 5 minutes. What is it? The Godfather, where it has that shadow over the. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Let me see. Um, why won't it zoom in? Maybe.
Sopranos.
Ah, there. Yeah.
I'm sitting here
Okay.
racking my brain. I'm like, what is it? What is it? What? I think it's something my cousin watches. Let me look. I think it's. She's addicted to that show. Is it? It
Logo.
has to be. It's got like the levels of justice or something, like that the justice holds. Nope, that's not even. What?
Hmm.
I don't know. It's not. That's the point. Maybe it was the. No, I don't know. I can see it. Yeah, it is. It's the. Oh, you can't see, but it's
Oh yeah, it is.
the
Okay.
puppet hand. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been looking up each thing as we go along. Like as soon as we say something, I type it in to see like give myself like a visual. That way also I can like look at it later, go through my history and go like, "Oh yeah."
It
'Cause
might have just been. Excuse me. It might have just been the way it was. It was showcased on a commercial or wherever I seen it at the time, but it had like a shadow behind it. My brain likes to hold useless bits of information and spit them out later.
yeah, I get that.
Well, we're at 3 minutes. Should we cut it so we don't get cut off while we're talking, or?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. I think
Okay.
I've gone through all of my notes as of right now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice talking to you.
You too, and good luck on the logo work this week.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Alrighty. End it. End meeting.
Recording stopped.
Oh God. Did I?